And her fans are already sharpening their crayons. And it's just what we need to tell
to the Megyn Kellys of the world, who have literally voted until this last election, which put me over the edge on.
Comments were made in that report about that, obviously about his memory that we don't.
The drama surrounding Karine Jean-Pierre's sudden reinvention didn't begin with a book announcement. It began with a smirk, a raised eyebrow, and a press room that had slowly turned into a stage. For 2 years, she stood behind that podium with a signature smile and the oversized binder, flipping pages as if the truth might be tucked somewhere between bullet points. She defended a White House she now calls broken.
If the title hadn't already been taken, it should be called Art of the Steal. KJP also said
voting more for Republicans. But literally now I voted in 9 presidential elections. God, I'm getting Becky. She was just top of mind. She was top of mind. That's what Karine Jean-Pierre tried to tell us.
Reassured the country that the president was sharp, energetic, unstoppable. She dismissed viral clips as cheap fakes. She insisted there was nothing to see, nothing to question, nothing to worry about. And now, after the paychecks stopped and the administration unraveled.
And I voted, it was 4 and 4. 4 Dems, 4 Republican votes up until I voted for.
All from the woman who spent 2 years telling everyone that Joe just had a cold and not rigor mortis.
She says she's stepping away from the party lines. Independent, reflective, ready to tell all. It's a remarkable pivot, the kind that makes you blink twice. Because the same woman who once brushed off concerns about cognitive decline, who swatted away questions about pardons and policy with polished deflections, is suddenly positioning herself as the clear-eyed observer of a broken administration. The same voice that repeated, "The president has been clear," like a mantra now promises clarity of her own. And critics aren't buying it. When Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly took aim at her latest reinvention, it wasn't a shouting match. It wasn't even particularly angry.
Says she's leaving the Democratic Party. I say God bless her. Not many people have the patience to wait.
Trump again this last time, so it was 5 Republicans, 4 Dems. I've been a registered Democrat. I've been going because let's not forget when he thought that the dead Congresswoman was alive. Where's Jen?
It was sharper than that. Cooler. The kind of takedown that stings because it's delivered with a smile. Greg came in swinging with jokes, turning her press briefings into performance art. He painted her as a master of the non-answer, someone who could transform a simple yes or no into a scenic route through word salad. He imagined her running a restaurant where the waiter would only arrive once we align appetizer strategy with kitchen leadership. He mocked the long pauses, the frantic page-turning, the blinking that seemed to say, "I hope this ends soon." The audience laughed, not cruelly but knowingly. They had watched those briefings too. Megyn was different, quieter, surgical. She dissected Jean-Pierre's greatest hits like a professor reviewing a flawed thesis. Let me circle back. The president has been clear. I don't have anything. She laid them out like evidence in a case study on political evasion. Her tone never rose, but somehow the room felt colder with
registered Republican, and now I've been a registered independent for 17 years. That's what an actual political independent.
He's the president of the United States. I can't even keep up with him.
Every sentence. She compared Jean-Pierre to a GPS stuck on recalculating, constantly redirecting but never arriving. And that calm delivery made it land even harder. What made it all so surreal was the contrast. On one side, a former press secretary promising a hard-hitting memoir about betrayal within her own party. On the other, a montage of her insisting, over and over, that everything was fine, that the president wasn't wandering, that there was no health concern, that critics were operating in bad faith. Watching those clips back-to-back felt like witnessing 2 completely different realities colliding. And then there's the political transformation itself. Jean-Pierre now says she's leaving the Democratic Party, stepping into the growing ranks of independents. She describes it as thoughtful, deliberate, deeply personal, a move toward loyalty to principles over party. But critics see something else. They see timing. They see branding. They see a lifeboat being lowered from a ship that already hit the iceberg. It doesn't help that others are doing the same. Books are coming. Tell-alls are lining up.
And it looks like, not like somebody who worked for 2 Democrat administrations until they got this, and the obsessive note reading, right? She could not do the job without reading for the first.
Insiders who once defended every talking point are suddenly discovering flaws they never mentioned before. It feels less like a wave of conscience and more like a rush to the publisher's office. A scramble to rewrite history before history writes them. Still, there's something almost tragic about it. Behind the satire and sarcasm, there's a real human story. A woman who made history in her role. A woman who stood at that podium under relentless scrutiny. A woman who, fair or not, became the face of an administration's most awkward moments. Now she's trying to reshape her narrative before it hardens permanently in the public mind. But reinvention is risky when the footage still exists. Greg's imaginary charts showing a flat line for direct answers. The goldfish in a tiny blazer making more sense than the podium speeches. Megyn's eyebrow raised just enough to say, "Really?" It all fed into a larger cultural moment. Politics has blurred into entertainment. Press briefings feel like episodes. Commentators feel like critics reviewing a long-running show that jumped the shark 3 seasons ago. And somewhere in the middle of that spectacle stands Karine Jean-Pierre, holding a new manuscript instead of a binder, asking the public to see her differently now. Maybe some will. Maybe others won't forget the repeated assurances, the deflections, the confident dismissals of what many felt they were witnessing in real time. Trust, once stretched, doesn't snap back easily. By the end of
Stank of desperation all over them, and she ran for the hills trying to pretend she knows what independent.
the week, the segments wrapped not with rage, but with laughter. A circus music montage of awkward pauses. A freeze frame of blinking eyes. A quiet, almost sympathetic smile from Megyn as if to say, this didn't have to end like this. It wasn't a furious takedown. It was a cultural roast. And in that roast, the real question wasn't just about one press secretary. It was about accountability, about loyalty, about how long you can defend a narrative before it starts defending you. So now the book is coming. Independent, a promise of inside stories, betrayal, political awakening. The marketing machine is warming up. The interviews will follow. The clips will resurface. The only question left is whether this is redemption or just the final act of a very long performance. What do you think? Is this a genuine political evolution or a carefully timed rebrand? Will you read the book to hear her side, or have you already heard enough from that podium? Let me know your thoughts below, and if you enjoy deep dives into the drama behind the headlines, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more stories that pull back the curtain.